What is up, everybody? Comic Book Wars, episode 18. You guys get to look at this beautiful face for the first time in a while. Episode 18. Jimmy's not going to be here tonight, but don't be upset, guys. He is actually working with Black Stars on a Tony Danza original series right now, a little bit north of Winnipeg. So as soon as we hear some more news about Jimmy and Tony Danza's series, we don't understand why it's on Black Stars either, but he won't answer any questions. But Jimmy will be back next week. Gentlemen, tell them a little about yourselves.
What's up, guys? It's Keith, and I'd really like to know how much money it costs to get out of felony charges in Chicago.
That'll be interesting. What's up, guys? It's Brandon out in Minnesota, but still repping Colorado. I think Jimmy got the idea for the all black cast from, God, what's his name? Jordan Peele, it sounds like.
That seems to be the magic formula to make kick-ass movies right now in the horror sector.
Yeah.
I haven't got to watch the new one, but I really enjoyed, I don't even remember the name of the one. Where
Get Out?
Yeah, where all the crazy white people in Georgia and shit were messing with them. So
yeah. I've heard really good things about Us, too. So, I mean, it seems like people either love it or they hate it, but I don't know.
The first trailer I saw of it, I wasn't quite sure about. I was like, okay, so they're carbon copy family cells, but then the second trailer kind of explained a little bit more, and she was like, I saw her as a child or whatever. So I'm kind of interested in it. I don't know if anybody's seen her or not yet.
I haven't.
Opening day of base. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, speaking of seeing stuff, it sounds like you saw Shazam.
I did. I got to see an early screening last week with Dr. Joe, and it's the best DC movie that's not Wonder Woman. They're completely different movies, but it gets it. It has the right humor. It's not dark. It's got kids in it. It just has a really good feel to it. They nailed it. I mean, I don't think it's going to do 100 mil or anything like that, but I have a really good feeling it's going to be one of those movies that the second weekend is going to be as strong, maybe stronger than the first once word of mouth gets out. But with these comic book movies, I've been wrong quite a bit on them, so.
I'm kind of curious. I think this has a shot to do really well just because it's something that actually has that humor, which is something those DC movies have been kind of missing the mark on. I feel like Suicide Squad had that one trailer that was kind of funny, and then they tried to add a bunch of jokes late in the game, and it didn't really work. But if they built something from the ground up to be funny in the first place, I think people are going to like it a lot more.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I really like Suicide Squad until I didn't like the villain situation.
Yeah.
I didn't like the brother, the Enchantress, and all that. I mean, but at the same point in time, I've read some stories that they kind of had the same budget situation that Deadpool had. They didn't get the budget that Superman had, or Batman vs Superman, or any of those other ones, to be honest with you. So,
well, and that's the other thing about Shazam is, I feel like people are more excited about seeing those off the wall characters than they are about seeing, Wonder Woman or Batman or Superman now, because we've seen those. I mean, obviously not Wonder Woman as much, but everybody knows Batman, everybody knows Superman. You've kind of seen what there is to see on the big screen, and they want to see something new.
There were 2 in-trailer scenes, kind of the same formula. One of them kind of funny, one of them kind of serious. So I will say this, this is not a spoiler. Pay very, very, very close attention to the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
Just visually, there are a few things that if you're not paying attention, that sets up the end trailer scene. And it's honest to God, it's a 2-second thing. I can't really give it away because it gives away a lot, but wow. It's not exactly what you're expecting. It's small. I'll just say that. So. But I really enjoyed it. Zachary Levi, like I said, that guy's had some weird reign because he was in that really shitty NBC show that I hated like 8-9 years ago. It was like,
what, Chuck?
Yeah.
Chuck? Yeah.
Chuck was I wanted to punch Chuck for whatever fucking reason. And then he looked like he looked like, I don't even know, he looked like a methed out like tweaker in Thor, like his hair color and all that other shit.
Yeah, he did. Oh, shit. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh. Shit.
Looks like Brandon had an emergency.
Brandon hit the speed button on that shit. So, Keith, opening day, buddy. Yeah, how are your Rockies going to be?
I don't know. I'm real curious about the pitching situation, but We'll see.
My Cubs got to a good start. Baez hit 2 home runs today. Brian hit a home run. We kicked the shit out of the Texas Rangers. So.
Yeah, I didn't even check the score, man. That's how
12-4, I think. So here's the thing. I bought a Baez refractor, that year it came out. I need to get graded because it's actually a really good copy. I got a bunch of cards that I need to get graded. I've never had a card graded. Yeah, I own a card that's graded.
Nice. Oh, yeah. That's a good one, dude.
Nice.
That's my only graded card. I got some other cards. I got the one that...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's really great. I couldn't believe you found that.
I don't know. Dude. I don't know if I showed you these ones yet, but these are actually ones that I told you guys about non-major sports cards. Now, I know a lot of you guys aren't into golf and things like that, but there are a lot of people who are, and golf memorabilia sells.
Oh, yeah.
And they haven't caught on to the card market yet. So it's kind of like comic books. When early on at CBSI, we tried to, we talked about variants and things like that. We got shit on, Now look where the variant market is.
Yeah.
So we weren't wrong about that. I got a good feeling that some of these cards like this, the Jack Nicklaus.
Oh, wow.
The single greatest, the most majors that's ever been won.
Dude, GOAT, baby.
Yeah,
Arnold Palmer?
Who died. I mean, we know this. They're not going to be making any more Arnold Palmer.
What kind of brand is that?
This is an Upper Deck Master Collection. So, and then
they has the Tiger Woods, right?
That's Tiger.
You guys probably heard of that guy before.
Yeah, you could say that.
So it's just one of those things. They're not all the golfers going to be good, but there's a guy by the name of, I don't know if you guys keep up with golf, but there's a guy by the name of Dustin Johnson. He's #1 rated player in the world right now.
Yeah, I heard of him.
He's got
Every time I play on FanDuel, I'm like, oh, you have to have him.
Oh, dude, I do DraftKings. That's funny. It's funny you said that, but we gotta talk about that later. But he has an Upper Deck 2012 SP card, and I honestly God think he has a chance to win 8 to 10 majors for all said and done.
Well, he's still young.
Oh God, yeah, and he's dumber than a slub load of shit. He is, but he literally might be dating the smokingest hot chick on the planet in Polina Gretzky.
Man. Those golfers get some chicks.
Yeah, they do.
Good for them.
Yeah.
They must be classy dudes.
100%. But like I said, I'm really concentrating on. I'm doing baseball, basketball, and all that. I don't really do hockey. I really don't do football. But I'm working on some of the, the non-big cards. Like we talked about the Steve Irwin stuff. Mm-hmm. I bought a Ric Flair on-card auto last week.
Yeah, wrestling stuff seems to do pretty good.
There's always wrestling fans, and I'm a Ric Flair fan. That's one of those things. I'm not trying to sell it. I like to have a card. I want to have a Hogan card. I'd like to find. There's a Macho Man NWO card, and it's the only on-card auto that he did that I'm aware of. They did an NWO like Nitro box. The Hogan goes for $300 or $400, and the Savage goes for about $600-700. So There's just some really cool cards out there. They may not ever be worth anything or pan out, but.
Well, dude, have you? I don't know if it was just me because I grew up in that part of the '90s, but when I was growing up, I used to buy all the Marvel Masterworks, those original painting cards. There was a ton of comic book related cards, and I remember buying them when I was a kid for $4 or $5 a pop, and I've been looking. Some of them go for $10-15 on eBay. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're still around. I think they still make Marvel cards.
I don't know. I guess I don't see them anymore because I don't really go to card shops a lot. So maybe I'm just missing them. But yeah, I've got a lot of old stuff.
The big thing is
Thanos.
When Joe and I went to the hepatitis shed last week, this was the only thing that I bought. I don't have a statue, and it's a cool Thanos statue to be honest with you. So
yeah, the big Marvel cards now are the sketched on cards.
That makes sense.
Oh, really? I bought a God dang it.
That's what people are looking for.
It actually might be up here somewhere. I fucking knew it was. I bought this a couple years. You remember when what's this guy's name? Chichetto?
Oh yeah.
Got popular. The Agent Venom Chichetto.
Oh, that's dope.
On card, yeah.
So you sketched that?
I don't think it's I don't know. No, unfortunately, it's just an autograph.
Oh well.
It is an on card though.
That's pretty cool.
There's just cool cards out there. There's just a lot of cool collectibles out there. We were in a hangout and Doc Joe was talking about it. If there was any money in a high-end collectibles shop, I would totally retire and run one.
Yeah, that would definitely be cool, but man, that's a tough grind, you know? You gotta wait for shit to come in, or you gotta be hustling to go get shit.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, if you maybe retired and had a little bit of a nest egg and then get upside down in the store, it might be fun. But markets are so tough because they're so cynical and cyclable. So
Yeah, it definitely depends on the economy too, because I was talking to this guy about cards, and he said, you know, the cards will do good when there's a good draft class and when there's a good economy, you know? So, I mean, that's totally correct about sports cards, I think, in general.
You know, the thing that interests me the most about like sports card grading is how cheap it is.
yeah, it's like $8 or $9, isn't it?
Yeah,
Not anymore. Depends how long you want it to take, right?
I suppose.
No, it totally is. It depends on the grading time. So if it's like 10 days or 5 days or 20 days, 20 days one, man, it takes forever, dude.
That's so crazy. When we wait 5 or 6 months to get fucking books back from CBCS
Right?
and CGC, and 20 days is a long time on card.
Yeah, but they charge arm and a leg, you know? Man, for the like 5 days, it's like I think it went up to like $35 or something.
Speaking of pretty cool books, you got a pretty cool book there, buddy.
Huh?
I said, speaking of pretty cool books, you got one right next to you, it looks like.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty badass. I regret not buying one of those. I really do.
That deal was way too good to pass up, I think.
I know somebody who can hook you up with one, Trey.
Oh, I know him too. But like I said, him and Tony Danza are out eating fucking Long John Silver's right now, so we can't really disturb him.
Yeah.
Jimmy's got the double schooner platter, some extra cracklings. So opening day, the best baseball card speculation news is easily that the #1 rated prospect by ESPN and Baseball America, Fernando Tatis Jr., made the opening day roster of the San Diego Padres.
Wow.
We talked about him 4 or 5 weeks ago, and about his cards are, hop on them now. Well, if you didn't hop on them a couple weeks ago, the train has left the tracks. I didn't hear anything. I don't think they put Vladdy Jr. on the major league roster, but other than that,
Jr.'s hurt right now, right?
Yeah, and I think they're going to do that weird thing they do on the arbitration deal where they put him in the minor league so they can. I forget what it's called, but they're able to sign him to a contract. I forget what it is. The same thing that happened to Chris Bryant, where they don't want to send him up because the service time's too high.
Basically, they get the extra year if they wait like a month or so.
Yep.
So that's why Vlad's going to kind of be behind in the Rookie of the Year voting.
Yeah. Do you think Rookie of the Year? This is a pretty good debate. We can talk multiple. Do you think Rookie of the Year has any effect on value on cards? Let me ask you this. In basketball right now, the Trae Young Doncic thing Trae Young's made it a race, and there's a lot of people who are actually put him ahead of Doncic right now. Do you think if Young or Doncic wins, it's going to affect the price of some of these cards, or do you think it's more of a long-term play? Because I think it's more of a long-term.
Yeah, more of a long-term for sure. I don't think in the short term it'll have any effect on the cards whatsoever.
It's interesting. I mean, I'm coming from outside, but I would have thought there'd be that immediate demand for somebody being named Rookie of the Year, and there'll be a little spike. It'll probably level off pretty quickly, but
it could be. But if Doncic wins it, I mean, his cards are so high already.
That's fair. I mean, I kind of look at it like, like Spider-Verse winning the Oscar. Like, it wasn't huge, but there was that little blip where more people were looking for those books, and then it kind of went right back to where it was.
It definitely gives you a little notoriety for that
little bit of time.
Yeah. I don't foresee it lasting long, but yeah, Rookie of the Year is a good indicator, though. I think of longevity. So for sure, it could have that effect as well.
That's a good point.
But there's a couple prospects out there. The guy from the National was one of the top, and I can't remember now.
I wish I'd have jumped on the Ronald Acuna train. I had no idea. I watched him. I've watched him swing the bat a few times, and he just swings the bat differently than anybody else. There's some really cool young baseball players right now. I mean, that's the cool thing about baseball is every other year there's someone that comes out of nowhere. I mean, Aaron Judge, look at that. I mean, he came out of fucking nowhere, and look at some of his rookie cards are doing right now. So,
yeah.
But speaking of spec, do you guys know what my fucking favorite spec of the year is?
What's that?
Let me guess.
It was posted in our group.
Is it those Cheetos?
Fuck yes. What other groups are fucking speculating on hot Cheeto shots? We fucking are, and I love it. And honestly, obviously everyone knows about CBSI. This has been my favorite group so far, and I'm not just saying that tongue in cheek. We have not had any fucking drama, and I love it. Not one day of drama. With the people that we have, they enjoy what we're doing. No drama, anything else. And like I said, we have some really cool spec. We've had liquor spec. We've had toy spec. We've got fucking hot Cheeto spec. I mean, we've done some pretty cool stuff, shoes, different things. And I mean, there was a cool shoe deal by Chuck C about the Walking Dead Pumas. I actually think those things are going to do well.
Yeah, and the Captain Marvel ones did really well.
Those Captain Marvel ones exploded.
I had no idea about those until he posted.
I didn't either. I don't think they'd make them in a size that would fit me, but we'll see.
Keith brought up a really good spec this week that went under a lot of people's noses, including myself. The still book on Edge of Spider-Verse. It's already doubled what the retail price was and sold out everywhere, with some copies going to the 60-70 range.
That's crazy. I wish I would have remembered to pre-order from Best Buy. I mean, they totally had it.
Dude, I did. I'll show you my receipt, but it wasn't 4K, so I was like, I don't really give a shit that much. If it's not 4K.
They only sold the 4K ones in Canada. So
yeah.
Jimmy would have had to go grab them for us.
And from what I've heard, stores didn't even get them because they pre-ordered and sold so well online. I went to 3 different Best Buys around here and called a couple places, and none of them even got it.
Because it was all to people that bought them online?
Yeah, they were just sold. They never even made it to stores.
Oh, that's crazy.
Bless you.
Oh, shit.
So, Trey, I see you've got a new little bit of art up behind you.
Oh, that little thing?
Yeah.
I think that's the only Niobe thing that hasn't been picked up by the Niobe group. Like I said, you guys know me. I don't fuck around. I don't bullshit that much. Try to tell the truth as much as I can. You guys remember who the very first person to spec on Niobe was, correct? I mean, I'm not putting my horn here, but do you remember all those low-life dirtbag piece of fucks that talked shit and said I was pumping and dumping? Keith does. Keith does. Yeah. Keith does for sure. But that same little fucking crust of a fucking herpes sore posted how great of a speculation Niobe was last week. Multiple people did. It just fucking drives me nuts. But here's what I'm saying. I probably have more Niobe books than anyone outside of Stranger Comics, and I will not sell a copy right now. It's not because I don't want the money. There has been some manipulation of the market on some of these books, and I really want people to step back and look at a few things. This is another perfect example with the fucking comic book market that I have a problem with right now. The Immortal Hulk #2 variant, 9.8, sold for $900 or $895.
Yeah, that's insane, man.
Listen to this shit, guys. If you're buying that book, it's worth more than a fucking first appearance of Deadpool. I really want people to wrap their brains around some of these stupid prices right now. Perfect example, this Naomi book. And I didn't know about it until Jimmy and Nico brought it up last week, but I looked into it, and I think it's a great spec book. I honestly think issues 1, 2, and 3 have a chance to be ridiculous. Bendis, I can't stand the prick, but he's got something in this Naomi. But here's another thing. You guys remember when speculation started, if a book was hot, it'd go up $15, $20, $25. People would stay the hell away from it. Now you got books 2 or 3 weeks after it comes out selling for over $100. Do you guys remember 3 or 4 years ago what a $100 book was? You could pick up Ultimate 4 Fallout variants all fucking day for $75. Variants. And now we're paying same price for the B cover in Naomi? Shit's broke. I hope everyone's making money. I'm a capitalist. I love it. But I just want people to be fucking careful.
Well, and I was thinking the same thing today. I keep seeing people getting excited about the first appearances of these minor characters that are going to be in this new Suicide Squad movie. And I'm like, oh, people are speculating on all these books. So what's going on with Suicide Squad 1 and Legends 3? Nothing.
100%.
The prices aren't moving at all. So is this just nothing but a herd mentality?
It's speculators selling to it's older and it's been a cycle. It's older speculators selling to new speculators. Absolutely. Then the new speculators hold the bag until they become old speculators and learn the game. And that's the way shit's been going on for 3.5, 4 years, in my personal opinion.
The thing about comics is though it cycles through, so we'll have troughs and it'll go back up. So eventually if you hold the bag long enough, you probably can sell it.
It is, but I thought we had a really good conversation today talking about, and one of the reasons I got out of comics to the extent that I did, we talked about it. Not only I had hundreds of hangouts every single day. I had to check the website. I had to check my comic shop. I had to check eBay. I had to check my 10 other sites. I had to check everything from all the other websites that were doing speculation. That's what I did. I was so worried that news was going to come out and I was going to miss something, that it literally took a lot away from my life. I didn't need the money. I don't need to flip books, luckily, knock on wood. I'm very fucking blessed. But when I got away from chasing and, being afraid that I'm going to miss, oh God, what if there's the first, the face and the foot of a new Walking Dead character, and having to go, drive around town to buy 4 copies that's going to sit in a long box. And honestly, my quality of life improved quite a bit when I got out of comic books 8-9 months ago the way that I did.
I agree.
Doesn't mean I'm still not collecting. Like I said, I bought some Naomi's this week, and I bought some books, but I'm just not chasing. I'm not doing it anymore. Especially, and you guys, please, I don't know much about it because I literally almost lost my shit. Marvel, these motherfuckers. Second print ratio variants.
I know, man. What's up with that? I've never heard of a second print ratio variant. That's insane.
Marvel doesn't give a shit about anything other than fucking making money.
Oh, that's exactly what it is, and people will pay for it. But I think the news got out on that quick enough that it, immediately went from being something that people were speculating on and was going for big money online to something that was just worthless. And
see, now I'm fucking hot. I fucking got all fired up. I'm fucking sweating. God dang it.
So is that book still selling now? The first print? What is the prices? Did it level off? I haven't been keeping up.
I haven't looked at it recently.
We've talked about the Immortal Hulk shit. It's decent, but when you got some shithead doctor that no one's ever fucking heard of, that honest to God sells more than the first appearance of Deadpool, something's broke. It honestly did. Because you ask 1 million people if they've heard of Deadpool, 700,000 of them would be like, fuck yeah, Deadpool, we watch a movie. And you're going to be like, what's the name of this shitty doctor? I don't even know it. Anybody?
No, Dr. Fry, yeah.
That's
Dr. Fry. They're going to ask who Dr. Fry is. You're like, yeah, I think that guy he was my pediatrician in the 3rd grade.
No, that spec is insane. I don't know who's paying those prices in.
This spec. I mean, it's just insane, the pricing on some of these books. And don't get me wrong, when I was selling and flipping variants, this is great, but it's getting to the point where I really do worry about people, not paying their mortgages because they're afraid they're going to fucking miss a book or different things like that. Because these prices are, those are more, you're paying, I don't know what people's mortgages are, but $895 is my mortgage insurance and then some for a comic book with a character that has no history or anything else. And he damn sure not going to make it to the MCU because of the Hulk rights and the situation. So explain to me. No, I'll tell you why. It's that fucking reject of a fucking dipshit. Oh, that cocksucker in Ohio. Him and his fucking group are pumping it up. Like I said, but if you want to be a sheep and follow that fucking sex offender, have at it, guys. He's a fucking winner.
Here's what I said about new books this week. I would love to be getting into new books and buying them, but there is not a single new book that will ever not be listed for sale on Wednesday if I buy it. And I think if you're buying these books to keep them, you're wrong. You may be right 1 out of 50 times, but those other 49 times are going to cost you more money than you're making on that one that you were right about. Just sell them.
Do you know what's really funny though?
These books are quick flip books for sure.
Absolutely.
You know what's funny though is we all got bought, especially the first of the speculation. I got 4 or 5 long boxes of shit. But you know what's funny? In the last 2 or 3 months, shit that I was literally gonna throw out has picked up. Like you start hearing rumors and shit like that, and you're like, this is getting weirder.
Dude,
comic books, they come back around. It's crazy, especially if stuff gets optioned, but then it gets forgotten, and then it comes back to light. I mean, all the stuff that gets made is probably dead spec.
Or especially if you're a hack of a fucking comic book person, you have a real shitty app that sends out alerts. That may do it too.
I was digging through a box of old stuff this week, and I found 3 copies of ASM. What is it? 375? Is it the first appearance of Anne Way or whatever it is?
Who?
The Venom's wife. I can't remember what the fuck her name is.
I don't know.
That book sells for like. Exactly. The book sells for like $10 online now. I think I might have paid 50 cents for all of those copies in the 90s.
You know what I think broke speculation? And it's a book that I actually talked about and spec'd on. I think it's that fucking the Thanos 13.
Thanos 13.
I think that broke speculation. I really do. That book should not. When that book's worth more than the first appearance of the Golden and Silver Age Ghost Rider and Johnny Blaze and some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
Explain it to me. Explain it to me.
It doesn't make any sense.
These Donny Cates cocksuckers. These Donny Cates followers. Donny Cates is one of the biggest speculator, pump and dump people in the fucking world. He has a network of people he leaks shit to.
Maybe.
People open your fucking eyes.
Batman Who Laughs too, though. Batman Who Laughs is like some random character that kind of.
I disagree with you on that because I think it's the most interesting character. It's a little bit lazy using the Batman. I totally agree with you on that part. That's low hanging fruit to make a Batman Joker, but he's more than that. He's Bruce with an evil mind. He's not maniacal like Joker. He's Bruce Wayne using that computer of a brain just pulling strings. And the fact that Snyder writes him the way that he does, and the way he kind of, I don't know if you guys read Justice League. I don't know if anybody's reading the new Justice League, but he was in the first 4 issues. He was captured by Lex Luthor, and there's some spec stuff in the first 4 issues of Justice League that came out, I think, last year. But I think now the prices of the Batman Who Laughs, are you shitting me? $800 or $695 for the A cover, there are 150, 200,000 copies of.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Would you rather have? And I looked. You can pick up a New Mutants '98 for $735, 98 on eBay. Would you rather have a first appearance of Deadpool or the first appearance of Batman Who Laughs?
Exactly.
Deadpool. Exactly. That's crazy that New Mutants '98 has gotten that low.
Man, I should look into getting one.
Yeah, I know.
So it's just, guys, all I'm wanting you guys to do is every one of us works hard for our money. However we do it, don't follow the other lemmings off the cliff.
It's hard not to, though, because
I did it.
I know when books get hot, man, people just want to follow the hot trend.
You know the indie from fucking Blowout, every one of his little pump and dump lists he put out on fucking Tuesday. I bought all those books, and when he had his I got some special books. Because I didn't want to get left behind.
Yeah, that's the fear of missing out, right?
There's the thing about those hot books, though. I tell people, there's a cycle. It's just like buying into stocks. When you're looking at a book, especially if it's a movie book, you should be selling when the trailer hits. The book is the hottest after the movie releases. If you look at Miss Marvel 1 right now, that's the best-selling graded book in terms of quantity on eBay. But prices have gone down because everyone is selling their copy right now. So there's so much supply, there's just not that much demand.
Here's another.
Well, there's plenty of demand if you think about it, but you're right. The supply just gets increased, so the price comes down for sure.
Here's a perfect example, John. Another character that doesn't make any sense. I sold a Kamala Khan first appearance, Captain Marvel's 17 second print last week, for $1,550. That's the same price you could buy a Batman Adventures 12 for. Same exact scenario. Ask a million people if they've heard of Harley Quinn. Maybe half of them have, Suicide Squad, et cetera, because of pop culture. Yeah. Go ask them who Kamala Khan is. Is that the guy that sells me the fucking gyro in the corner?
Yeah, but the thing is, I think with that book, people are banking on the future, right?
Yeah.
So expect now at 1,500, you're banking that, whenever anything gets announced, or if Kamala Khan does anything in the Marvel universe, then Marvel.
But that's what I'm saying. Is she's done nothing. I mean, she's not even in a successful book right now.
People are buying on potential.
But the thing is,
Quinn came out, so I mean, people have already seen her on the screen. So how much more is she going to go up in that popularity?
Did you say Harley? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if Harley already came out.
I think Batman Adventures 12 has a potential to be a $5,000-$6,000 book.
Like
when Jim Lee called her
are you talking way out there?
I guarantee he'll hit 25. I bet before 2 weeks before Suicide Squad 2 comes out, or the Bird of Prey movie, that book will be $2,300, $2,500 in my opinion.
It's not Suicide Squad 2 though.
Is it not?
No, it's a reboot.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. They came out and said it's going to be a complete reboot called The Suicide Squad, and if anything, she's barely going to be in it.
Yeah,
and
they cameo, right?
Yeah, they might have a cameo, and they recast Deadshot. If you didn't,
with Idris Elba, correct?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, he's winning. Will Smith?
No, that's confirmed.
Okay. Will Smith can't hold Idris Elba's dick when it comes.
Absolutely. But I'm with Trey on this one. I think there's no reason that Kamala Khan should be fetching those prices.
Let's be honest. I mean, it has a lot to do with her religion. Am I right?
Absolutely. I think that's a big part of the reason that people are speculating on her. But the thing is that people have taken the speculation so far that the speculation is what drives the price now, and not even the quality of the character or the movies or whatever.
She has a single worst costume in comics. She's dressed in a fucking Napoleon's jacket with a thunderbolt on it like fucking Shazam. All she does, I swear to God, everything you see Kamala Khan, she looks like Dave Grohl in that fucking Foo Fighters video with that big giant hand just slapping people and shit.
You know what it is? Nobody called it out for what it is. She's Mrs. Fantastic.
Yeah, like fantastic.
Why am I doing all this shit with my hands out on my fucking teeth? I'm literally fucking doing hand stuff. I've never done hand stuff in my life.
It's literally that same thing that everybody's talking about, though. It's just a gender swapped character that they already had. And I mean, I'm not talking shit about Kamala Khan. Like, it's cool that they have this character who's good for inclusion, but she doesn't have original powers. They might have come up with a new way for her to have those powers, but she just does all the same shit that Mr. Fantastic does.
I'll take a $50 bet in the next 3 years, Marvel retcons her being an Inhuman. If anybody wants that, I'm dead serious. Inhumans are done. They can't. Yeah. Marvel can't get far enough away from the Inhumans after that disaster they put on TV. Yeah. They're not promoting the books anymore. Nope. Like I said, anyone who bought Inhumans are dumb. Because if you look at Black Bolt and his fucking spoon on his forehead and you spent money on that guy, fuck you.
I fucking bought Inhumans. What are you telling me? I'm dumb?
You're dumb for that.
You bought him because you like Medusa. I know you like.
I sold some of them, so I'm good.
What I've been noticing, and I know I talked about it in the chat a little bit this week, is how good Eternals is selling. I feel like not a lot of people are really bringing it up. I know there was some news today about potentially Angelina Jolie getting cast in the Eternals movie. I don't know if that's actually true or not. It seems like it's just rumors right now.
I messed up that after what she did to Brad Pitt, I really wouldn't go watch a movie she's in.
That Eternals price variant has been skyrocketing, though. It's pretty amazing.
Do you know any one of us, or anyone in any of our comic groups has read any Eternal books? Because I can't find one.
I have a lot of them. I've never read them.
Yeah, I've never read them either. But it's all Kirby art, right?
Yeah, that's the only reason I have them.
Yeah.
By the way, this is completely off subject, but this is one of the funniest things I saw. I saw a post on Reddit in the comic book section today, and it had a picture. It was someone drew a picture of Stan Lee in heaven, like shaking hands with Jack Kirby and Ditko and everyone like that. And oh my God, it made my heart swell. You should have read the comic. You should have read the comments. Like, I don't think Stan's up there in heaven. And first of all, Jack Kirby's not shaking his hand. The first time Stan gets up there, Kirby's knocking him on his ass. It was literally the single greatest comment section I've ever read. So if you guys are in the comic book deal on Reddit, find that post and learn the truth about Stan Lee.
You know,
you can't sexually assault nurses and go to heaven. You can't.
That's true.
Hey, let's not talk about that.
If anybody, you know, is interested in some of that stuff in the comic book history, there's a really great book I have called Marvel Comics: The Untold Story. I would say it's probably a little bit biased, but they don't shy away from talking about that history with, you know, the kind of the backdoor deals and screwing people out of money and rights. So it's really interesting to read about. As much as I love Stan Lee and, you know, I like everything that he did, I'm willing to admit that there was some kind of shady shit done behind the scenes, and it's interesting to read about for sure.
As you guys know, I have an anger problem. The last time I was at a
Wait, what?
Yeah, I got an anger problem.
Oh shit! No way.
News, but what was the last Captain Marvel. They had that like Stanley intro.
Yeah.
There was a 40-year-old guy, like 8 seats left of me, crying. Like, I mean, not like sobbing, but like tears down his eye. And his wife put her arm around him to console him. It took every fiber in my being to sit there. It really did. I want to get up like, come on, dude, you're 40 fucking years old.
Hey, man.
Stanley, it's like they said in Goodfellas. Mickey Mantle is like, oh, Mickey Mantle's your hero. Fuck you, Mickey Mantle ain't paying your bills. Stanley ain't paying anybody's bills, so why put him on some pedestal?
I mean, if you're selling all those CGCSS books, he might be.
There's some good comic book people out there, and in my personal opinion, Stan Lee wasn't one of them, and it bothers me to see him put on this pedestal just because he was the face of Marvel.
He did a lot of good, dude. Come on, man. So it's not all bad.
He did. I will say this: he was the father of inclusion in comics. You know, some of the things that he did as far as inclusion was absolutely wonderful. But he copied off DC.
Yeah, everybody kind of copies off everybody, though. Exactly. At least at this point in the comic book industry.
You ever heard the story about the Fantastic Four and why the Fantastic Four was created?
Yeah, they talk about it in that book, actually. It was his boss told him to make something to compete with Justice League.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it's the same with, you know, it's the same thing that's going on with the movies. I think the reason Shazam was made and the reason that Shazam has that, you know, good bit of humor injected into it is because it's worked so well for Marvel. Exactly. When DC first started making movies, you can watch the press conferences. They came out and they said, we don't want to be Marvel. We don't want to be funny. We want to make real serious movies. And it didn't work. Well, there are people that like them, but for the large mainstream audience, it didn't work.
Did you guys see Zack Snyder's interview this week? At left field. Well, he had a deal where people were giving him shit about Batman and Superman killing people, and Man of Steel and respectively Batman vs Superman, and he literally capped it, exclamations like, "You guys are crazy if you don't think superheroes would kill people in real life." And I mean, he got a fucking shitstorm of hell rained down him by people and fans, and I see his point. You know, if you're having all these battles in cities, knocking buildings over, throwing cars and shit like that, people are going to die. And they're bad. I mean, based on what you know, I mean, if you got a chance to kill fucking Thanos or Darkseid, you're not going to, let's put the cuffs on him and take him to jail. This motherfucker just killed half the goddamn galaxy.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I understand where people are also coming from. That, you know, that's in the comic books in which they grew up and read, that wasn't necessarily the case. So it was very interesting, though. I've never seen Zack Snyder really kind of go at people the way he did after some of the comments. So
Zack Snyder's kind of had a rough go in the last couple years, and I think, you know, the internet is really quick to have that mob mentality and just, oh, you ruined Jimmy Olsen for me, and that's my favorite character, so fuck you, or whatever it might be that he did. But at the end of the day, he's making a movie. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
I don't think Zack Snyder gives a shit about those people as much as you want to think he does. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I mean, now that he's not working on those movies anymore. He's probably just got nothing but his Twitter timeline blowing up.
He's like, I gotta defend myself now.
Yeah.
These fucking movies.
It's just so weird right now because I never thought we'd see some of the movies that we're getting to watch. And
I love it.
I've never been more excited. Do you guys fucking realize that we're getting Game of Thrones premiere, in-game premiere, and the Masters all in the same fucking weekend? Like, I'm taking vacation for 4 days. I'm not gonna be able, my son and I talked about it. I've honestly thought about not leaving the house so nothing can happen to me so I can make it to in-game. Because I know my luck is I want to get fucking hit by a stray bullet and some shit and on my way to in-game and not be able to watch it.
I don't think I'm that worried about it, but
I'm not that worried about it, but you might be making me more paranoid.
Dude, after seeing that Chinese poster come out today, fuck, I'm excited. I didn't even look at it. My son said there's some spoilers in it, and I saw that there was a top layer and then the bottom layer, and I got the fuck out of it. I want no spoilers, nothing.
It just showed all the characters, basically. I mean, nothing really to spoil in it, I don't think.
I thought someone said in our chat that there was some surprises in there. That's why I got away from it.
Yeah, I didn't want to look too closely at it either.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't look closely. I just thought, okay, there's some characters, and then down below there's some characters. I'm like, okay, whatever. Kind of figured that was going to happen anyway, right? I talked about Game of Thrones spec last year on some other stuff. Get ready because those books are about to fucking go through the roof. There's only about 6 or 7 keys. There's a bunch of first #1 variants, and there's a couple other ones. The Virgin covers.
The Virgin covers. The one that Lupacino, not Lupacino. Is it Lupacino who did the dragon cover with Khaleesi?
No,
I don't know. Perillo?
Yeah, sorry, it was Perillo. But I mean, those books got super hot.
Here's what I will tell people about those Game of Thrones books. If you can get a George R. Martin SS,
I know, I saw that. I was like,
those are going to be monsters. And I mean, I'm not telling anybody, I'm not encouraging you to sell SS books after someone passes away. But the reality of it is that he is going to pass away sometime, I would say probably within the next 10 years.
Oh, 10 years. Have you seen how unhealthy he is?
Absolutely.
10 years.
I'm not wishing, that on him. I'm just saying that's the reality of the situation.
I mean,
I have mixed opinions on selling comics after people die. Like, I don't know why, but when Prince died and people started pumping those Prince books, it just pissed me off because who really fucking, if you're a Prince fan, you own Purple Rain, fucking you own some CDs, do you really want a Batman homage cover? Their hands go, dude.
I don't know. That's pretty fucking cool book.
All I do is like fucking touchdown.
It is.
Touchdown.
It still goes for like $20, man. So,
does it really?
I think so.
That's the thing about
$20 book.
Like I said about those spec books, the speculation is enough to hold the price for a while now. Like even if the spec doesn't pan out, the price just kind of hovers higher than it should be. I found what the fuck is it? El Diablo 1? Is that the book that we were specking on from Suicide Squad?
Hey, that is that whole series. I wrote an article. I met the guy who did that. That was the lowest printed book.
Mm-hmm.
You know that group.
Yeah, you're the reason I have those.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you posted that.
He told me it was the lowest printed book DC did. It was right before the New 52, whatever that little window of books that DC did. But he said that was the lowest. He said number 6 was was like 1,000.
I got one of those too.
And he was a good character in Suicide Squad. I thought he had the most depth of any character on the original Suicide.
Okay. Did you guys realize that he died at the end of that movie?
Yeah.
I legitimately left the theater and then like somebody was talking about it like, oh yeah, he died. And I was like, oh wait, really?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, the Indian guy who died like 45 seconds into is.
What was his name? Some rope or whatever.
Yeah, he basically
Slipknot. That's it.
They had no more budget for characters. Like, all right, we're gonna give this Indian guy some rope and a fucking grappling gun of some sort, and we won't make him last very long.
And he blew up.
Well, you remember how bad the Enchantress dance was?
Yeah, that was really bad. But that's what I'm telling people about like these characters that are going to be in the Suicide Squad. you don't know if they're going to be in that movie for 5 minutes. You don't know if they're going to be in that movie for 10 minutes.
Dude,
Don't pay these prices.
No, nobody's paying these prices. People
Mr. D.
They are though.
No, people are selling them at these prices.
You can't sell them if nobody's buying them.
That's crazy.
In our chat room right now, Mr. D made a really good point earlier talking about the DC movies. Dark Knight might be the best comic book movie ever made.
It is the best comic book movie ever made.
Well, I mean, yeah, Heath Ledger won an Academy Award for Best Actor.
I am the biggest fucking Marvel homer in the world. That's still the best comic book movie that's ever been made.
Christopher Nolan movies were the best, pretty much.
Here's the question I have. With the money that is being thrown around in comic books, why hasn't DC why haven't they handed Nolan $2 billion and said, hey, can we use you for the next 15 years?
I think it's too dark, though. It's too dark for what they want to do now. And Marvel has lightened it up so much that I don't think his movies will work now.
You know what a lot of people don't realize about Christopher Nolan, and I'm not talking shit about him. I'm not saying I know this for a fact, but if you pay attention behind the scenes, his brother has a writing credit on almost every movie that he's ever made, and his brother is making Westworld right now.
Really?
He struck out on his own, and he is the one who's making Westworld. If you're not watching that show, it's fucking incredible.
Jimmy said earlier that him and Danza walked by the set, and he may have some spoilers. He can tell us about that later, but we'll have to.
I don't want spoilers.
Jimmy also said he may have a cameo in Lucifer episode 2. We'll just have to wait and see. He's been busy.
Wait, really? Oh, I was like, wait, no, I was more like, are they making more Lucifer?
Oh, hell yeah, they are. It's on Netflix. Season 4 starts next month.
Oh, that's good to know. My wife is obsessed with that show.
Your wife has good taste.
What, Lucifer? You watch that shit all the time. Don't lie.
Well, you got to pan the camera over. She's talking. What's your wife's favorite comic book movie?
What's your favorite comic book movie?
Oh,
she's chewing.
Keep talking.
Oh, come on. That's not fair. All right, fine.
She's live with 22 people, man. She has to come up with...
I don't think we're going to get a favorite one out of her.
My girlfriend says the one that had the girl with the red, white outfit that fought the Nazis. That's how she calls the Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, which one?
I also, what's your favorite scene in comic book movies? Like the one scene that you can't not watch if it comes on.
That scene in The Winter Soldier where he's in the elevator just beating the shit out of all those people.
In that close proximity.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass. Mine is the Wonder Woman No Man's Land scene where she comes out of the trench. I don't know why. I get goosebumps on a completely different level.
Yeah, it's a really good scene.
Like all slow-mo and stuff.
When she's like, no man can go through there. She's like, I'm no man. And she starts she's kind of figuring out her powers a little bit, what she can do. That was a powerful scene.
My favorite comic book movie is Planet Hulk.
Planet Hulk, she says.
The animated Planet Hulk? That's a great movie.
It is.
Well done.
I've never seen that one.
Oh, dude, there's some early Marvel animated shows. They had some stuff about, Future Hulk. I forget what it's called. There was a really good one with Wolverine versus Hulk that kind of basically was a comic book movie about 181. It had Wendigo in it and everything. It was really, really good. They had one about the Avengers kids.
I'm more into the animated movies
Yeah.
than live action.
Did you take your wife to go watch Dragon Ball Super then?
No, I've tried to get her to watch Dragon Ball. She's not into it.
Too nerdy?
Yeah, me either.
Oh,
we watched some anime together, but not that.
This is...
There you go. You should have had those on from the start.
What is that?
What's my power level?
This thing right here, I can't. It's so red, I can't see out of it. So.
Oh, really?
But I got this as a Christmas present. So this is the first time I've worn it.
That actually looks pretty good on you.
It's so weird that it works.
It fits.
Yeah, it does.
I was like, that's hilarious, dude.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit, I thought I broke my glasses. Dude, my hair I look like warmed over shit.
That's why I put a hat on, too.
The Ninja Turtles hat. Paul will try to buy that hat off of you.
I doubt it. I'm probably not going to sell it anyway. I dug up. I have a copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 first print. I kind of forgot I had it. It was in a box. So I was like, oh shit.
Nice, man. Love those
It's surprisingly inexpensive. I thought it would be like way up there, but you can get near mint copies for like $50.
There's a lot of copies out there.
I don't think people realize how underprinted 2 and 3 are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
4 is when apparently it caught traction to an extent, and the print run jumped up. But 2 and 3 are, and 2 first print, finally getting good condition. Those early Turtle books are just horrible on condition. I mean, they're made of that real thin paper. It's not a regular comic book stock. You know, Eastman and Laird didn't have a bunch of money, so I mean, the printer they sent it to was pretty cheap quality. It was an oversized book, had some weird staples on it. That's one of my prouder books I honestly own. And I got to thank Dr. Joe. I don't know if I've ever told that story on air or not, but I get it. And this, it was about, I don't even about 4 or 5 months maybe. You know, we were buddies already. And he goes, hey man, I stopped by a place after work and they had Ninja Turtles 1, 2, and 3. He goes, but I'm not sure if they're a first print. And I mean, if you don't know how to spot a first print on that book,
don't buy it.
It's a bitch. I mean, it really is. I called Steve Brock on the phone and asked him, and he kind of walked me through what to look for, and I was 98% confident that it was a first print. Luckily, I bought 1, 2, 3, and 4 for $225. And here's the crazy part about it is the guy offered it to Joe, and I may have the number messed up, but I think he offered it to Joe for $150.
Wow, what?
Oh.
Yeah, it was the most in thing. You know, it was one of those deals that you turn it in to get graded, and you're on pins and needles when you get that email to make sure. And like I said, it came back a 5.5. So
for $150 for those 4, like
I'm
probably
sure
we're just rolling the dice.
I think deep down, Joe's trying to kill me. Like we've been hanging out.
Dude, TMNT #1.
Like he always, like every time he asked me to get in his car, he asked me like walk in front of his car and stuff like that. I gotta be real careful around him now. I think I saw him videotape my security code get in my house too, so I gotta keep an eye on that guy.
He's dangerous.
Yeah, I like this post you made about the mutant woman.
Dude, I honestly
talk about that a little bit.
I don't think I've talked about. I talked to 15 people about that. That is one of the. If it's true, and I don't have any reason to doubt that the authenticity of the article in the scientific journal came out.
No, I think it's true.
We have mutants, literally, and I'm not saying that tongue in cheek. There was a 76-year-old lady in Scotland that they have found apparently she does not feel pain. She also doesn't scar, and she has a fucking mutant Wolverine Deadpool healing factor.
It's amazing.
I think she feels pain, right? Well, like does, just not much.
No, I mean, she said that
she needed a hip replacement, and she didn't go for like 10 years, and it said it would cause a normal person to not even be able to walk.
Remember, they said that she would burn herself and not feel it until she smelled her own skin burning.
Yeah.
But then the thing that was crazy was that she doesn't scar. But if you go and read the article there, you know, with the CRISPR and all the different DNA technology they found 2 different DNA markers, and they thought one of them was some junk DNA, but the 2 have worked together, and she has fucking abilities. They also said that she is completely calm in intense and chaotic situations.
Yeah, they said she got in a car accident and like wasn't even worried about it.
Wasn't even worried about it.
Basically has no fear, right? Because
yes, that's what the only thing they said is she's a little bit absent-minded and forgetful.
Yeah, but that's normal for anybody, really.
Who gives a shit? If you can fucking heal and stuff like, dude, what sucks is the fucking Chinese. They're gonna be
not Chinese.
They're gonna be making. They're gonna have super soldier serum and shit in the next 5 years.
Pro football players, when are they gonna start mutating their genes so they can start healing quicker and not feel pain?
Well, you guys know about the CRISPR software, correct?
Yeah.
You know about the twins in China that the asshole doctor used the CRISPR technology on, and they can't find where the twins and the mom are at right now.
Yeah. And he just kind of was like, oh, it's no big deal. And everybody else was like, wait, what the fuck?
can't find him right now. From the last thing I read a couple weeks ago, they haven't been able to find the doctor either.
I think he might have got picked up by the government and
That would make sense.
taken away.
Well, I mean, here's some things that you can do with that CRISPR software. They've identified genes. You know, people who can sleep 3 or 4 hours a night, and it's like when normal people get 8.
Mm-hmm.
They identified that marker. You know, people that are just naturally muscular that never work out a day, like guys like Bo Jackson and people like that never work out and just built like Greek gods. They've identified that gene. They've identified the asthma. They can take away the asthma thing. People like immunities to poison sumac and poison ivy. It's scary where our technology is at right now. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, there was a second Berlin patient found 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not far from being able to literally use DNA and other things to eliminate HIV and AIDS potentially because of a mutation due to, I believe it was a leukemia. Someone had leukemia, and then there was a bone marrow
transplant. Yeah.
For whatever reason, it attacked the HIV cells, and for, don't quote me on this, for the last 22 years, there's been no detectable traces of HIV in the Berlin patient. And 3 weeks ago, there was another one in Great Britain that had the exact same situation.
That's fucking insane, dude.
Wow, that's
We're
crazy.
going to see a period where people are going to start messing with their genes to become like super people.
My girlfriend had a really good point. She said that with the internet and how the whole world's connected now, once people hear about this, she said she didn't realize that she was abnormal until the doctor was talking to her. There could be a couple hundred people out there on this world right now that are 5 billion plus or wherever it's at that could have some cool stuff that we honestly don't know about. I mean, no one's ever going to fly or do anything like that, but
look at that TV show Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I mean, I've never got the flu. No male in our family has ever, no one's ever got influenza.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if I've gotten the flu really either. I've gotten real sick, but.
But the interesting thing is my girlfriend brought up is with this 23andMe and all these DNA registries, the second you upload your DNA, they own the coding.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So that's something to be mindful of, but that's also how they think their privacy policy.
Well, that's how they do it. But do you know why they want to own your DNA code?
Yeah, because if they find superpowers like the one we're talking about, they can fucking sell them. No,
it's because those companies are run by what the fuck are they called? Scientologists.
God damn it, some Scientologists.
Scientologists? Are you
Yeah,
sure?
yeah.
Is it okay to?
I've seen articles about it online, and they're collecting people's DNA so that they can take them with them to the promised land. They think it's like a like a holy service.
That sounds so hoaxy. I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't know. I could be crazy.
I think you're crazy.
It's so crazy to think. Like my sophomore year in high school, there wasn't anything as the internet yet. And then in 1997, I remember a computer and our library got AOL. And I remember I got suspended because I was the first person who went to Playboy.com and got caught. And just look where we're at now with technology. We were in 3 different parts of the United States, talking live, no lag. I mean,
it's crazy.
The world's connected in a way that I never thought was possible, and I can't even imagine what it's going to be like in 15, 20 years.
I'll be too old for it. I'll be like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
I just want to be beamed up before I die. I want to be transported from like Oklahoma City to like Dallas.
I was just hoping for a self-driving car.
I don't even care if it's in like one of those fucking like bank tubes where they just like put me in one of those plastic things and just shoot me there. I'm good with it. Brandon, what's the Magic Gathering news of the week?
I haven't been paying too much attention this week because I've been so busy. I've got that move coming up next week.
Sorry, man. I haven't been paying much close attention this week either. I don't got any spec for you on Magic.
I do have one card I wanted to talk about. I know I've mentioned already that they're doing this new set that's going to inject a bunch of new cards into Modern. I can't say for sure what they're going to be adding in, but it seems like they're going to be kind of putting in some things to take like unfair decks under control, like maybe some graveyard hate or some stuff to stop combos. But one of the most popular decks in Modern right now is Burn. and the decks are really, really cheap to make. But a lot of the cards in these decks are actually more expensive online than they are for paper copies, which I think is just because people online want to, play matches really quickly and get them done. But there still should be less of a difference in prices. So there's a card called Eidolon of the Great Revel. It's been printed twice, so a couple of times fairly recently, but that card is a staple in any kind of burn deck, and I think it's always going to be around. It's about $5 or $6 right now. I think it should easily be $10.
See, that's one thing. You're not getting enough credit for your Magic spec. Now, that's not my thing, but every one of those cards you talk about, 48 hours later, they've doubled in value, exactly as you said, and then sometimes even more than that.
I don't know if it's every time, but I try to capture that.
About 600-700.
It's probably 500, we'll say, but well, and that's the thing is a lot of these cards that I've got sitting over in a case over there are the ones I was wrong about, and then the ones I was right about I didn't buy.
Oh, that happens in anything.
I know. We'll get there eventually, but.
Speaking of things, I don't know why, but I bought a Josh Okogie rookie a few months back. I mean,
I don't know why either.
Yeah, and then like this. I think this one is a cooler card. I haven't showed this, but it's the Sony Michelle. Remember we talked about Sony Michelle? Yeah,
I was talking about that a while back. I think that's a good spec.
Rated rookie, like a personal edition. I forget. It was really rare. Like when it was the only one that had an on card.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm having fun again, guys. Like I said, Keith and I text back every day. He finds something really cool. He's found some really cool, websites and Instagram pages with some sports card stuff. If you guys are interested in that, I have no doubt that he would probably. I don't know though. Maybe we should keep that closer at chest.
I don't know if we'll spill the beans on air right
now.
No,
I don't think we should. I do have a request from the group though, and it is a speculation request. I want to get into first editions of major novels, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. That's a world that I know nothing about, and I don't think people realize what some of the first editions and first prints on some of your favorite books go for.
Man, how do you obtain those books though?
You go to bookstore. It's the same way you do comic books. You go into bookstores and you look, and there's going to be diamonds in the rough because here's the thing. There's people just like us in comic books that go and do that and some of those, and I mean, they're via tokens and things like that. Those $1,200.
Dude, you should see what the first editions of Game of Thrones go for. Have you ever looked at those?
I have. I want a set. But here's the thing, unless he finishes it, I'm really concerned about the value of the books. It's almost like Saga. Everyone loves Saga. Keith will literally fight you if you talk bad about Saga.
I miss
Saga. Is it really a spec book right now?
I don't know. Probably not.
That's where I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to keep my RRP and some other stuff, but I don't have a lot of faith in it right now because it seems like the project's dead. It almost seemed to me like they ran out of story to tell.
In Saga?
Why did they go on the hiatus? I honestly don't know. I'm not being an asshole. I really have no clue, but I thought it was because
they're probably out there doing different projects, right?
I don't know. I'd call Jimmy, but I don't want to mess up.
I don't think
Tony
Staples is doing anything right now. So they just took a break, man.
It's like I bought a bunch of Rat Queen books. I had a lot of faith in that book, and then that damn artist beat the shit out of his wife or fiance or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
He killed the book.
That was pretty bad, man.
There was a lot of people, I mean, I've been on the Invincible bandwagon for a long time, and I always told people my favorite comic book was Invincible. And like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times out of 10, people will be like, "Oh, have you read Rat Queens?" And I always be like, "No, I haven't." And I always meant to get around to it, and then all of a sudden, that news came out, and I was like, maybe I won't get around to it.
I'm trying to think. I read some shit last week. I think I talked about it. I didn't read anything this week, but it's been a lot. I've been busy at real life work and everything else. So.
Yeah, I haven't really read it.
Yeah, there was a tornado at Trey's job today.
Yeah,
if nobody heard.
Fuck, dude?
This was the most asshole thing I've done in a while. I meant to say like I was in a shit storm at work, and like the tornado emoji came up for whatever reason, so I just threw an F5 in front of me. Like I had an F5 shit storm at work, and Keith like, man, I'm really sorry. I was like, oh my god,
Well, you know why? Because there's a tornado in Colorado like a week ago, so I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Tornadoes are happening right now. Like,
Unfortunately.
you're in Oklahoma, so it made total sense. I was like, fuck, dude. I didn't even hear about this tornado. That's fucking
I
crazy.
know. It sums up the day. It sums up the day. Do we have any other awesome speculation shit to talk about? We've covered a lot tonight. My blood
It's
pressure
crazy.
got up.
I think it's crazy how dark red is blowing up.
Oh, Jesus. It's crazy.
That C2E2, all the variants are doing crazy. The Shannon Mare, there's like 3 different versions, I think.
Red?
They're all blowing up. There's a red.
Dark red, it's called.
Dark red, there's a regular, and then there's a trade.
It's
Even the
some
trade dressing was going over 150, I think.
Who makes the
it's
book?
Antarctic, is that what it is?
Aftershock.
Aftershock, okay. I knew it was some small press company.
But yeah, all the C2E2 books that they sold over there are just going insane right now.
Think about that. You can buy, I'm looking at it right now. You can buy a dark red #1 for the same price you could bought Amazing Spider-Man $298 or $299 2.5 years ago.
Seems good.
Why are people buying this book because there's a blonde chick that got her titties half out?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
That's so weird. Don't guys. If you're comic book people, don't be fucking. Don't be that guy.
I don't know. I haven't read it or anything, but I guess people are reading it. I don't know.
This is a Xenoscope book with an Aftershock label.
That's kind of what that, Shannon Mare one kind of looks like, right? It's like a Vampirilla almost.
She looks like a meth chick that just got dressed and is trying to sneak out of a place. I don't get this. I don't get comics right now, guys.
Comics are crazy. There is one other thing I wanted to talk about. Jimmy made a post earlier in the week. I know he posted it on the Facebook page. I don't actually know if he posted it on MeWe, but Steve Aoki had a comic book that came out this week called Neon Future. It's selling for eBay. I mean, depending on which cover, for like $8 to $12 shipped, but you can still buy them from the publisher's website for $3.99. And I know Jimmy posted a link in the Facebook for sure. I'm not sure about MeWe.
Yeah, it's on the MeWe page.
Okay, cool.
Goes right to the Impact Theory.
The cover A I actually think is way fucking cooler than any of those variants. And that seems to be the one that is averaging the highest amount of sales. So I don't know if I would recommend going for any of the variants. I think the cover A might actually be the one to have.
I have no idea.
Also, guys, with G Plus being gone next week, if you don't have a home, we would love to have you. Come check out our MeWe channel and also come and check out comicbookspeculation.com. This is a homer statement, but in my personal opinion, the single best comic book article being written right now is by our boy Nico with the weekend update.
Mm-hmm.
It's
My personal opinion. It's unbelievable. It's in depth. It gives you good advice. So if you haven't checked that out, also check out the site and check out Brandon's awesome articles. Jimmy has some good articles, and I am actually going to get back into writing soon and write some sports card stuff. So
that's
like
great.
I said, we're here to have fun. This is a no drama situation. We're not going to allow any drama. We're here to have fun and try to help people out and keep people safe in some instances, to be honest with you. And that's what we're going to do here.
Absolutely. And I don't know how many people are watching this, live, or I guess after it's been posted. But if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I've been way too busy lately. Like I said, I'm moving across the country next week, so too busy. But soon I'm going to have some videos I want to work on for the channel and doing some extra stuff video wise as well as the articles. So hopefully that works out well. But I think everybody's going to like them.
I think, yep, and we have some new content, some other stuff that we're planning on. There is a phase 2, and we're working on it. We want to get a little bit bigger, like I said. But look at Keith. Keith got a sexy beard right now. Look at that guy in the pearly whites. You're lucky you're married to one of them. What was that comic book girl? Kitty Pop. She's gonna see that beard and all Brandon. You don't know about Kitty Pop?
I don't know about Kitty Pop.
Oh, we will take this off air, my friend.
Okay.
Everyone have a great week. I appreciate everyone who showed up. Hopefully Jimmy will be back from his Tony Dan's extravaganza next week.
I miss you, Jimmy.
And go watch NCAA tournament. There's some really good games going on right now.
For sure.
Good night, guys.
See ya.
Have a good one.